Alrighty, so every single time there's some new token market cards, everybody is wondering what's going on, and you guys can see I've moved all the way up actually to the diamond tier, but it means I've finished the ruby tier, so we are going to be covering all of the best ruby token market cards you guys can pick up in 2K22 right now. So hit that like button if you guys are excited, comment down below if you guys pick any of these up and what your experience is, whether I want to make sure I'm making the right picks for you guys, and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We've already done the emerald and the sapphire, so if you guys are curious on that, it'll be linked in the description down below, so you can have a good time and see what those are. I can cover the amethysts and the diamonds, and pink diamonds, stuff like that if you guys want to, but there's less of them, and you require less of them. So let me know if you guys want to do it. I can do a full in-depth video on them, like I'm doing with these. So I have been flipping out on who you should get first, and then doing who you shouldn't at the end. But I'm gonna flip it around and actually do who you shouldn't get from the token market card, especially the rubies, first, I guess, just because to me it makes a little bit of sense. Now, the first one that I've looked at and I've really just decided I didn't really want to get, oddly enough, was this Brian Cook. Brian Cook just really wasn't a card that jumped out to me as being anything too crazy. It wasn't like he was bad by any means. He jumped out at me as being a good, three-point shooting power forward, but I just didn't really feel like it was too amazing, especially when there's a later card who you can pick up. It just does a little bit better. 84 midi, 86 three-point shots, an 80 standing, and a 70 driving dunk, which actually is pretty good. No playmaking whatsoever, and the defense just, I don't know, not great. It's good if you're playing for a power forward, but I would prefer a little bit of perimeter. It's some decent rebounding, but that 40 speed is kind of a killer. It just makes him way too slow to really be capable. Has good shooting badges and just overall silver badges in general, but just not really feeling it. Evan Fournier actually is a really good card. 6'7", has jump shot 4, and is all around just absolutely amazing. So I actually highly recommend this Evan Fournier card, to be honest. If I'm being real, the only card I don't really think is that crazy is Brian Cook. But Evan Fournier is one that is a great shooting guard, but there is a better option at the 2 guard by far that I've had so much more success with and absolutely love. So Evan Fournier is a good option. I will tell you guys one later that I recommend a bit more. But if you do like jump shot 4 this year, 86 three-point shot, a 70 driving dunk, good ball handling, and an 80 perimeter is absolutely amazing on Evan Fournier. And he has some really good badges to boot with that as well, to be a good finisher, good playmaker, and shoot the 3 ball actually pretty well. Devontae Graham is a great PG, but in my opinion, if you've already actually picked up Trae Young, I don't see a reason to pick up Devontae Graham unless you don't like the Trae Young jumper and you want the Trey Burke base instead. That's really the only reason I would get him, because everybody should have the availability to Trae Young. But those 34 silver badges do to a number, but I actually think Trae has a few more, which is pretty good. Overall, Devontae Graham's a great card, great playmaker, great shooter. Just again, I would rather pick other guys up. And Tiago Splitter, just kind of a back-to-the-basket guy, but is a better center here. And Ricky Pierce is actually pretty good, and I debated getting him, but the 5 that I picked up was a little bit better. And again, I had a good shooting guard already from the Ruby tier, so it really wasn't anything too special to me to, I guess, avoid Ricky Pierce. So, starting off in our collection, we can go to our rewards and head over to the Ruby token market, and you can see the 5 that we picked up. I'll talk about the best first, and that is Tim Hardaway Jr. This is by far and away the best Ruby card on the token market by far, and maybe even the best Ruby card aside from LaMelo Ball in the entire game. This card is just absolutely insane. 86 offensive overall and a 79 defense, which may not seem absolutely insane, but let me tell you, it is because he has the J.R. Smith jump shot 49 base jumper. You mix that, in fact, actually a pretty good post fade, an 84 driving layup, an 84 three-point shot, and an 80 driving dunk. It is absolutely insane. The jump shot 49 is just so easy to time that I've had an absolute blast with it. He has some pretty good playmaking, has an 83 perimeter defense, has 70s in both rebounding, which is actually pretty good, and I've actually been able to get a few rebounds a game with Tim Hardaway Jr., and he has 78 speed, 74 speed ball, and a 78 acceleration. And you can see that's actually only through one game, apparently. I've scored 14 points and 3 assists with a steal, but normally he has all silver badges, 23 silver badges, so all of these ones that are gold are ones that I've actually added onto him because I was having so much fun using the card. So all of these silver badges are actually really good. Hustler has been pretty nice, volume shooter, sniper, catch and shoot, corner specialist, glue hands, a great badge, mismatch expert, celebrity finisher, green machine, hot zone hunter, grace under pressure, all absolutely amazing. And Tim Hardaway Jr. actually has the 2 corners as a hot zone and the right wing as a hot zone from 3 as well, making him actually a super solid all-around Ruby card that I just had an absolute blast with. The offensive ability with him is absolutely amazing, and he actually has been holding up pretty well defensively in all-time Dom, so love that. My next favorite is the man, the myth, the legend, Ron Harper. Ron Harper is a 6'6" PG, and just look at the all-around game that this man has. 85 offense, 87 defensive overall, and he's 6'6". Now, the thing that you will get with Ron Harper is some pretty bad post game, but against the other side guards like a Trey Young or something like that you're playing, you can just drop step to holy hell and you'll still get buckets every time. The 84 midi is more than capable of actually hitting all of your shots. That 69 3-point shot means you can hit it, but it's really still a little bit weird, so sometimes I just drive in, I don't even take the 3. 85 free throw is great. The 65 driving dunk means he will dunk when he's wide open, but if he's contested, probably not. Great playmaking. And 87 perimeter, 84 steal, which is why I have this Ron Harper. He is absolutely locked down, and almost none of the time this Ron Harper lets the other person score. I've actually switched him onto, dark matte LeBron at all time, and it's been beautiful. Has some pretty good speed for a 6'6" guy, and 32 silver badges. The playmaking, defense, and finishing on him is just beautiful, and one of the few cards in the game right now that actually has clamps. It is on bronze, but clamps and intimidator are absolutely amazing, and this Ron Harper has just been a defensive phenom for me. So if you're looking for somebody who's just a good defensive god, it really doesn't get too much better than this Ruby Ron Harper. And if you're on that Ruby market, highly recommend picking him up. He has been actually a beast for me lately. He's actually been like a 15 and 10 card for the last few games in all time, and I absolutely love him. The next one is my substitution for Amethyst Vlade Divac, which you will see in a future No Money Spent episode. Hit that subscribe button. Is Ruby Mitchell Robinson, because he is 7'1" and has that 90 overall defense. With Mitchell Robinson, which as you would expect, your offensive game is pretty tough. You have a 79 post hook, which is awesome, and a 79 driving layup, but a 40 midi and a 25 3. I usually like my centers to have a bit of a mid range, but it's not really working this year. 73 free throw for Mitchell Robinson, surprisingly, is actually pretty good. Last year, you could not hit very consistently with a low rated free throw. I feel like this year, it's kind of made a comeback. 85 standing and driving dunk is absolutely amazing. This Mitchell Robinson catches every single lob and is just a great all-around card in the paint. But the reason you pick him up, 70 perimeter, 78 steal, 89 block and interior defense with 88s in both reboundings, and 52 speed for a 7'1" guy at this point in the year is pretty damn good. And then when it comes to badges, just has everything that you'd want in defense and finishing, which is just beautiful. Sadly, I can't upgrade his Intimidator, I don't think, which I would love to do, but Silver Intimidator and Silver Rim Protector is all that you really need to be a good paint defender at this point, and Silver Interceptor is actually pretty good as well. The Pogo Stick and the Rebound Chaser work really well, and just all around, this card has been an absolute beaut to have on the squad. I just absolutely love them, and those 2 bronze badges I actually added. But overall, Mitchell Robinson has been great and has locked everything down to the paint for me. Even shutting down Dark Matter Kareem, which, I mean, it's a pretty hard feat in itself with how good the AIs are this year. So all around, Mitchell Robinson, an absolute demon of a card. The next one that I recommend, because I'm kind of doing these in order, is Ruby Jalen Rose. 6'8", basically playmaking forward, point forward, if you will, in Jalen Rose. And I actually really like this Jalen Rose card. And I was a little bit surprised of it. Jump shot 32 is still good this year, just like it was last year. Same one as at least for this year, the same one as Rajon Rondo, Brian Winters, Nick Anderson, Seth Curry, and it's actually a really good jumper. You can see it's a bit of a post game, a good driving layup of an 88, 85 mid range, and a 77 3-point shot is beautiful on Jalen Rose with that jump shot 32. It's actually pretty easy to time. 85 free throw, a 75 driving dunk. If Jalen gets to the basket, he's definitely throwing it down a few times. And here we are with the playmaking. That point forward roll coming in absolutely beautifully. Has a 70 block, 75 steal, 80 perimeter, and sadly a 60 interior, but his actual defense is pretty good. Rebounding is alright, and the speed with that 80 right there at 6'8", actually he's pretty solid on Jalen Rose. Then when it comes to silver badges, my man has 29 of them and has 7 bronze as well. His shooting badges are absolutely amazing, and his playmaking are godly too. I mean, that silver quick first step has been huge. And even his bronze badges are pretty solid as well. I mean, we're looking at Acrobat, Ankle Breaker, Dimer, Pro Touch, Slithery, and Ankle Braces. I mean, those are some great badges to have on a card, and all around this Jalen Rose has actually been a fun starting small forward for me until I picked up LaMelo. All around, I'm loving him, and I think he's great. And the last card is the better, I guess, stretch 4 that I was talking about in Dario Saric, just because He has a 78 shot three, a 75 mid range, has an amazing post game, which I'm not joking. Post fades, post hooks, and all that sort of stuff. It's actually insanely cheesy this year with some good dunking, really good passing, not the greatest perimeter, but good interior, better rebounding, and he is a lot faster than Brian Cook, who we talked about, with 14 really good silver badges, although most of them are going to be in the defensive area, not really the shooting, which is a little bit tough, but all around, Dario Saric is an absolute beast. If you need a bit of a stretch forward who can also be a really good post presence, it's great. And even actually a stretch 5, because he has that secondary position center, and at 6'10", you'll be able to play that really well. So those are our best Ruby cards in the game from the token market. If you guys liked the video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you guys want to see anything else like the best amethyst or diamonds like we talked about earlier, I can drop a video on those as well, although most of them are actually pretty good. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, on that road to 50K subscribers. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.